In this video, we're going to look at DFG insurance. So we'll start by going to the URL, and then at the end, you're going to type in /wp-admin, and that's where you would log in. And so that's where you'll put in your username and password that we've given you for the back end of your site. You'll put that in there. And this is where all the things are located for your site. So I will go down everything over here on the left and show you how they all work. So we'll start with updates. Under updates is where all the plugins and versions of WordPress are located. And we regularly update all of our sites that we host. So you don't ever have to look at this if you don't want to, and never have to worry about it, but you can, if you want, you can update these, select all and update them as you see updates available, but we also take care of that. So you never have to worry about it if you don't want. Next is posts, and I can't recall if you're using, doesn't look like you're currently using blog posts, so I won't look at that for right now. If you end up wanting to start a blog, let us know and we'll get that started for you. Very, very simple. So I want to look at the site. The next thing down here is Accordion Pro, and that's what we're going to look at. And life insurance types. So this is probably under products, life insurance. You have several different types of life insurance here. And that's how we make these little buttons, as with Accordion Pro. So if you ever want to change the words and the wording on these buttons, that's what's located on your accordion. So you can see that the title goes here, and then the rest of the information is below. And it's you can format it through here, or you can look at it on the text side of the editor. And this works the same way that everything on the site works. Is you have bold, italics, bulleted list. You can make your font bigger or smaller. You can number a list, and you can hyperlink to a phone number or click here to get a quote. So that's where all of that is located. You'll always just hit update if you make any changes. And if you want to add a new type of life insurance, a new accordion, that's where you would do that, and it'll give you a new one. That's basically it. If you want to add a new accordion somewhere else on your site, you can add a new accordion and then just give it a title and start using it. It might need a little bit of formatting help, but that's where that's located. Next up is media. This is just where all your pictures and PDFs are located, and you can see them here, you can add them here, you can delete them from here. But you always have access to them wherever you need them. So you don't have to necessarily worry about them here, but you know that's where they are. Forms. Contact, request a quote, and request a form. So let's just look at these real quick. Very simple. Name, phone number, email, subject, or message. These fields are added by clicking over here. And if you just click on it, it'll show up. And then if you want to change the field label, you can change it, what's written or what shows right there, what's typed. And you can make the field required by clicking that. And I think your other forms are probably also simple. Yeah, so this is added through checkboxes. So you would just hit checkboxes, and then it gives you the option to add or subtract any, and then you can type in what you want right there, and then the field label goes there. You can duplicate a field if you'd like, and then always hit update if you make any changes to your forms. Let's look at, is this what alright, so then yeah, these are all basically simple forms. And so I can go to forms here, and I can look at entries this way as well to see if I've gotten any entries. Looks like there's a little bit of spam there, so we'll take care of that for you. Yeah, we can take care of that. So that's where your entries are located. You can go to entries here. or you can look at the entries for each specific form by going to forms and then clicking entries. You can also go to settings and look at the notifications, and in the notifications, that's where you can see who's receiving an email each time the form is submitted. So if you want to change that, all you have to do is click here. You can either duplicate it and make an additional, or you can change by sending it to a different email here, and then you would click update notification. And I think that's basically everything there. Yeah, so let's look at pages. This is where all your pages are located, as you can imagine and as you can tell. And so let's take a look at some of these pages. Under forms, what we have here is these links to different forms. So how this works is you're just going to type in what you want the form to be called, and then you would hyperlink it by, so we'll say we want to go to add media, because what you're adding is a PDF. So I want to say this form, I want to get the URL for this form. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and I'm going to hyperlink it. And that's going to link to this prescription drug form PDF, just like these do. And then click update. And you don't need to worry about anything else here. You just need to worry about the text that's right there. So that's how that forms page works. Request a form probably just has your, it just has your form there. So you add a form by wherever your cursor is. You click add form, and then you select whichever form you want and insert it. And it'll show up, the short code will show up for you. And again, always click update, and don't need to worry about anything else below that information on the page. Contact Us probably also has a form, and your information is right here. And again, don't need to worry about any of this stuff here. So basically works the same way as the formatting on those accordions is you can change the size of the text, bold, italicize, anything like that right there. So that's basically how all those pages work. I don't think you have anything different. Nope, just basically text, and that's where that would be changed. And then don't worry about any of the other stuff. So under pages, we also want to look at homepage, because this is when we do need to look at some of those other formatting things, because that's how we've formatted your homepage. So all these different areas of your homepage, I can show you where they're at and how to change them if you want. So each page section has a little title, and so the first one is slider, and you just have short code for your revolution slider, which is up here, and I can show you kind of how that works later on when we get down there. But I think the formatting on this one you don't really need to mess with or do anything. So then the next section is the about intro, and so we've got your video and some words on your video in a button. So how that works is you get the embed code for your YouTube video, and then you're going to paste it there. And you can change the width and height of the video as you see fit, but it goes here in this text side of the editor, not the visual side here where it shows you what it looks like. It goes here in this text side. And if you want to create a button that's done by hyperlinking, just kind of like we did for the form page. So you hyperlink and then you would select button, and that's how that's done. And again, I don't really think you need to worry with any of the formatting stuff, but that's where it's all located. Then you go down to services, and we've got our products here, and those are all hyperlink to a specific page. And then they're also put in third columns using this short code right here. And it's also all in white text. So if you look at format, it's in white text. And then it has a photo as a background with a bit of a color overlay. So you can choose a color, and then you can choose how transparent or opaque it is over the top of that photo. So if you ever want to change that photo out, it's right there. If you ever need to add or subtract anything here, you can do that. And then I think the other two things are they're located on every page, so I can show you how to change that. But those are the two sections where you would change anything, and you can always add a new section, but that will just change the functioning of your homepage. And so if you find yourself wanting to add a page section, I would just replicate what I saw above, and I would center all the text, use heading 1, make buttons. If that's something you want to do, you can mess around with that. I would just replicate what you already have. And so once it's done, and once you've made your changes, you click update. Comments, that's for if you had a blog that you were using and there was a comments function, but we're not. So we'll move to staff members. This is pretty easy, pretty simple and straightforward. So you just click on whichever person, and then you've got their name, their position, and then here's all of the information about them. And so then you can change that as you see fit, and always click update. You can also delete people by clicking trash if you end up having staff changes. Same thing here. Just change out the email address, phone number, staff photo is all right there. Pretty simple. If you need to reorder them, that's done by dragging them here. Dragging them into the right order. Genesis is your theme. We won't talk about anything here because I don't think there's anything super necessary or helpful. Under appearance, there's two items we want to talk about, which are widgets and menus. So under widgets, we will look at a few different things. This is basically just how the header and footer of your site is set up. And so we've done some extra formatting on those items. So you may not want to mess with much of what's here, but you're more than welcome to. Just let us know if something gets messed up and you need extra help with it. So you've got your logo, which is up here in the corner. So if you end up getting a new logo, you can switch it out here if you need to. And then underneath that is where all of your contact information is, all this stuff right here. So you can change any of that if that changes, and then you just click save. I think the next thing we'll look at is in the footer. That's the contact us form. And so this is just a form, contact us, nothing you need to look at there. And then the Google Map plugin, which allows for this. And then we've got the visual editor, which has the visit us information. So then there's that. If any of that ever changes and you need to change it, it's right there. And then we've got your social media menu at the bottom, and your regular menu, and that image for Springfield's Best. So if you want to add more things, they're added by clicking over here. So if I wanted to add an image somewhere, I can select where I want it to go and click add widget. But again, that's going to mess with some of the formatting, and I don't really foresee that being something you want to do or need to do. So let's move on to menus. So this is how we structured your social media menu. You can see they're right here. And so let's say you want to add a new form of social media. Let's say you guys get a Twitter. So what you need to do is go to custom link, put in your Twitter URL for your specific page, and then come in here and copy and paste this, and then just wherever it says Facebook, change it to Twitter. Add to menu, and that's all you need to do. You can drag it, put it somewhere else, and you can also remove it. And then if you make changes, always just click save, and those will just automatically show up where they need to. And same goes for the main navigation menu. If I wanted to edit that, you can drag these items. You can slide them over to make them sub-menu items. You can see their sub-items. You can change how they appear. You can change the navigation label of them. And if you create a new page, it's going to show up over here, and you just select it and click add to menu. And it'll show up, and then you can change the navigation label and put it wherever you want. And click save menu. So that's everything there I think that you need to know. Plugins are what's used to create your site. If you need more plugins or want to use a different plugin and you have questions about that, let us know. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about there. Users, this is where you will have a username and login, and I will create that for you after I finish this video and send it to you, and we will get you a username and login, and then you can change your password here if you'd like. Just always want to be sure our passwords are very, very secure so that no one can have easy access to our site. Tools and settings, I'm not going to talk anything about there. And I don't think there's anything you need to worry about on the custom fields or SEO. Duplicator we use to launch your site. Slider Revolution is what is created that slider at the top of your homepage, and as well as at the top of the history mission page. There's a slider at the top of that page as well. So we'll take a look at this real quick. So we've got a photo in the background. If you ever want to change that photo out, just go to Media Library and select a different photo. From here, you can upload a file, or you can select one from what you already have. And if you want to change the wording here, just double click on it. You can change the wording. You can change the font. You can change the size of the font or the weight of the font, the color of the font. You can change all of that. Obviously, the site looks good as it is, so I don't foresee you wanting to change that. And you just need to make sure that the text fits and sits well and through each screen size like that. And then hit save under each screen size. These particular slides are talking about open enrollment. And so obviously you're going to want to get rid of these at some point. Basically, this is just used through using a stock image of some sort of background, and the text can be changed here, and it's centered. And so if you ever wanted to just change this slide, that might be your best option, just to duplicate this slide and just change what's already here if you want to make another announcement. And if you want to save these slides for next year, all you'd have to do is click this little red button here, and it makes it invisible. It doesn't show up on your site anymore, but it stays here for you to use it and bring it back again if you'd like. So these other slides work basically the same way. Like I said, with the text, you would just double click it. And if you want to change the picture, that's basically all that you need to know on these. That's all that's happening on these. And there's a little bit of animation, and that's adjusted through animation. You can mess with it and change it here. You can drag out how long it takes for the word to slide in. You can mess around with that. And then again, it just needs to make sure it fits on each screen size. Those are the main things there. I don't think you'll probably be making a whole lot of slides. But if you end up wanting to make more or change more, you can let us know if you have questions about Slider Revolution. Those are kind of the main things. That text, you can add a layer of text, you can add new text, or you can add an image, and then you can, once you select those, you can animate them from there. Again, you'll always just hit save. And under slider settings, this is where you can get the short code for your slider right here to place wherever it needs to go. And then you can see all your sliders here. And you can create a new one if you'd like. But let's talk about Google Maps. And manage locations. So you've got your location here. If you end up ever needing to change anything, if your location changes, you would come in here and change the address here. And it will, and then you would just need to find the Google Map location and put it here as well, the URL for that location when you type it in on Google Maps, and then you'd put it there. And you have your map, but I don't foresee you ever needing to change anything here. If you moved locations, you could change the address, but the map's set all good and formatted for you. So then if you created a new location, let's say you had a second location, it would show up here, and then you could select it here. But again, that's already set up and looks nice here at the footer of all your pages, and I don't foresee you needing to change much there. But let us know if you have questions about that. And that's the last thing. I don't really think that there's anything else that we have to talk about. Those are the main things that make your site function, and if you have additional questions, please let us know, and we will be happy to help you.